Guys, Ubisoft may finally acknowledge that it's selling out to China. This is a cow's opinion. And man, that was a long day at work. And I know you guys can sympathize. And if you do, feel free to hit that like button because it helps out a lot. But Tom Henderson over at Insider Gaming is once again reporting on what is becoming our favorite story here, which is Ubisoft struggles. Now, we don't take pleasure when studios struggle, guys, because a lot of people who didn't make those decisions are the ones that have to get either fired or now have to do the jobs with less teammates, and that sucks. But Ubisoft acknowledged today that the recent buyout rumors that we talked about possibly last time, saying it regularly reviews options. Now, if you don't speak corporate, that's about all you're going to get. They're not going to do anything else. But last week, Bloomberg, which is a major financial, you guys, if you don't know, Ubisoft is huge in Europe. It's a pretty big company here in America as far as gaming is concerned. Huge in Europe. There's all kinds of rules and regulations with it and such. But the Guillemot family is considering a buyout from Tencent, because the stock is fallen into an 11-year low, as we discussed previously, because Outlaws struggled to meet expectations, Assassin's Creed Shadows was delayed, and a slight little update we'll do for this video, they're also apparently working on co-op for Assassin's Creed Shadows, because, they've got Yasuke, the huge samurai type guy, and then they've got the Konichi, and it's weird that we don't know her, I don't know her name, but, none of the news has been talking too much about her. So, Ubisoft made a statement with Eurogamer saying that Ubisoft has noted recent speculation regarding potential interests around the company. It regularly reviews all strategic options in the interest of its stakeholders and will inform the market if and when appropriate. Now, and which is, I apologize, I'm a little scatterbrained, but it's weird that you didn't have the co-op for Assassin's Creed Shadows before, but, oh well. As long as you're putting it back in the oven, let's see if you can do it. The statement then continued. The company reiterates that management is currently focused on executing its strategy centered on two core verticals: open world adventures, yay, and gas, games as a service, boo. Because the games as a service is kind of, not great for the industry. I know for every freaking fortnight, you got 12 that are failing. Now, last week, Ubisoft stock went up 30% due to recent rumors of a buyout. Nowhere near how much they've lost over the last 3 years, but a nice big boost. Now, is it going to happen? We don't know. But the developers who spoke to Insider Gaming were understandably nervous because, first of all, you're going to suddenly be working for China. And that is the opinion part of this show, because while Mr. Henderson did a very good job writing about this, he did not touch on the big rumor, which is right now China is not really well liked, politically, economically, militarily around the world. And as I stated, Ubisoft is based in Europe. France and all those other nations have very strict rules about selling companies to China. And I don't know if they're going to allow a buyout to Tencent, which is, it's a Chinese company. It has tons of money. They make some of their own stuff, but for the most part, they get rich because in China, you cannot sell or distribute games unless you do it through a Chinese subsidiary that keeps a portion of the profits. It's why people keep saying China plays unfair, because this is what they do. And Tencent's been using the money they've been collecting from just selling other people's stuff to build their own thing. And now they might own Ubisoft, which is a lot of stuff. But that's going to drastically change Ubisoft, you guys. Because, again, a lot of regulators and a lot of politicians in Europe are not going to be happy with that. And there's a lot of American companies, Japanese companies, other nation video game companies. They're not going to want to do business with China like that. I mean, you have to sell your games in China. There's 1 billion of them. But there's so much stuff, so much grief. The Chinese government can literally come and just squish you anytime they want, because it's what happens in the communist regime. I'm not trying to bash anybody. It's just from a business standpoint, that is a real risk. And will the EU regulators even allow Ubisoft to consider a sale to China? I have my doubts. I know the Guillemot family wants it to be bought out. I know that they have a lot of unhappy shareholders. But I feel like Ubisoft can still survive this and even thrive if you clean out the terrible management decisions and the terrible managers and people who are. Look, we've seen it. When something fails and struggles, people go on to, well, these gamers are all toxic and terrible people. Look, I understand venting, and I'm not saying you're not wrong because I've seen some of the comments, but a lot of the comments are just along the lines of, I wish that the game wasn't so buggy. I wish that I could do this. I wish that the game had been better. And yeah, that sucks because you worked X number of years and Y amount of money on a game. But bashing them online is not going to make anyone give you the money next time you release a game. So you have to be careful about this. I know everything online is so political, so gotcha, that you really have to, you should never tweet angry, guys. Be like the cow. Happy tweets, happy tweets. That's why I know that this show does well. Cow's Opinion, when we talk about the game news, does well. But I also understand it's hard to be happy and positive when so much of the news lately has been terrible. We've been dealing with developer layoffs, which, by the way, I would expect Tencent to massively lay off their European studios and worldwide studios and just take the IPs and the tech for themselves. But that is my opinion based on the information I have. So, again, this is just a little quickie because we do have this update. Again, Ubisoft has acknowledged the recent buyout reports. It doesn't mean they will. It doesn't mean they won't. It's just at this point in the discussion, if they are having discussions, this is all they're going to agree to. And even if they agree to it, are the shareholders going to vote for it? Even if the shareholders vote for it, will the government agencies and regulators allow a massive software company, even if it's video gaming, like Ubisoft, to be bought by a Chinese company? I have my doubts, but let me know in the comments if you think that this is good or bad for Ubisoft. Let me know in the comments what you think Ubisoft should do to fix their issues. And you know what else you can do? Don't worry about their issues. You can play more games, because games are awesome. Buyouts are kind of awesome. I mean, I don't know actually if the shareholders will be happy. Yeah, 30% in a week is a lot, but stock has come down significantly from there. So it's more like you're taking less of a loss, not like you're making money. But you know what you do? You deserve awesome, and I'll see you next time. Man, just when Blizzard's issues go away, Ubisoft starts. It's like the video game council has decided to give us content for this show. I don't know why. They just do. They just do.